Welcome to the Ready Made Maths YouTube channel. Introductory video.
Hello and welcome to the first Ready Made Maths YouTube channel video. My name's Anthony Reddy. I'm a mathematics consultant. I've been working as a maths consultant for about 20 years now. What I'd like to do in this video is basically just give you a little introduction as to the sorts of things that I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks. I'm going to be creating a lot of different content for teachers, for teaching assistants, and hopefully for parents and for children as well. As you can see, you'll find me at the moment in my classroom that I've been creating over the past 2 or 3 weeks. I've basically taken my basement, spent a lot of time scraping and polishing and painting and decorating, and then finally moving all of the maths equipment into this room in order to create basically a mobile classroom that I'll be using over the next few weeks. Okay, just as a little preliminary activity then, just to get an idea of the sort of things that we will be doing, I'm going to start off just by taking one of my numbers from the number wall, sticking it onto the whiteboard up here, and doing a little activity that I'm going to call What's So Great About 48. What I'd like you to do now is just, if you've got anyone with you, let's have a little chat with, or just write a few things down yourself. I'm going to pause the video in a second. What I'd like to do is look at the number 48 and just think about, what do you know about 48? Tell me what you know about 48 as a number, and also what do you know about 48 in real life. If you pause the video now, take a few moments, jot some things down, and we'll come back and see what we've come up with. Working with children in Key Stage 1, what I want to see is, can they show you a really simple image of the number 48? What you can see here, using the Numicon pieces, are 48 as 4 tens and 8 ones. Or, alternatively, 4 tens and an 8. We can still see 4 tens and 8 ones, but this time you can see the 8 ones have been set out completely differently. You'll see there the Singapore style tens frame image, where the 8 can be seen as a 5 and a 3. What we can also see from that image is that 48 is 2 away from the next 10, or 2 away from 50. The image you're now looking at is a Slavonic abacus, one of my favourite pieces of resources of all time. In that particular image, you can see that 48 again is 4 tens and 8 ones. You can definitely see that it's 2 away from 50, and in fact, if we move the 2 over, you can see the 50 and 5 tens. Put that back there. We can also see that 48 is 52 away from 100. There's plenty of other things you can see there. We'll be exploring those in some of the other videos on the resource sessions that I'll be doing in a couple of weeks' time. Back to the base 10, we can now see it's been rearranged very, very quickly into double 24. You can see that the 4 has been arranged in a dice formation. Okay, I hope you've all been getting quite excited by looking at the ready-made maths shelves that we've created as well. You'll see plenty of these in the upcoming videos. I just want to very, very quickly let you have a quick look at what's on the shelves and just point out just a couple of things as we're going on. First of all, there's my early years Key Stage 1 shelf. You can see the teddy bears, the lollipops with different prices on. As we move further down, you can see loads of different resources in here that have all come from a company called Sweet Counter. The ladybirds and the lollies again, and the busy boats and the sunflowers. Moving down to the third shelf, you can see my connecting camels. At the back, you'll also see the Numicon pieces again. At this time, they've been set out in a couple of different ways. As you can see on the left-hand side, Numicon's fantastic for helping children to understand number bonds. And if you look at the right-hand side, Numicon's also superb for developing odds and even numbers, and one more. Moving on to shelf number 2, this is my place value shelf. I hope you can see base 10. You can see base 10 actually on the shelf itself, but also some number tiles that have been created by TTS. Moving down onto the second shelf, you can see at the back, still keeping with the subject of place value, and again from Sweet Counter, you can see the place value sweet jars. You'll also see a load of dice that we've put there that we'll be using for some of the mathematical games in the mental arithmetic training sessions. And moving over to probably my favourite part of the whole display. This is the ready-made maths number wall. Spent a long time putting this together. Can't wait to use this over the next few weeks in some of the mental arithmetic sessions that we'll be doing. To see over here, some of the tens frame images. Again, just take your time to have a look at those. I've set them out in a certain way. You know, you can pause the video at any time and have a quick look. What can you see on the right-hand side? Can you link the images together? And have a look down here on the left-hand side. You know, what's the same and what's different about each of those images? We'll be exploring those in some of the resource sessions. Over here, my number wall, which is again basically a bit like a gigantic target board. I'll be referencing this all the time. We'll be looking at the numbers and looking at all sorts of different ways to manipulate them. So, what's coming up in the first week? As you can see there, the first week of training is on mental arithmetic, with the key message being,
can I do it in my head? You can see the 5 strategies that are outlined. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build them up over 5 days. So by the end of that first week, we've already got this repertoire of strategies that we can use. And obviously, if you can develop them and you can start to use them naturally, it's going to be even easier to start developing those with the children in your class. Also in week 1, it's going to be some shorter sessions just on using number rods. I've got lots of different resources, as I've mentioned, that I'm going to be using over the coming weeks. Number rods, an absolutely crucial element of mastery. Really good way of developing the bar model, but also a really good tool for basic understanding, for substitution, for equations, for all 4 operations, and especially for developing understanding of fractions and proportion. Last but not least, in week 1, we're going to have a bonus video on one of the more complex areas of mathematics, but one that actually can be explained relatively easily. We're going to look at short division, in particular the bus stop method. But do we really understand what it means when we say how many 4s in 1 or how many 4s in 7? It's not a 7, it's 70, it's not a 1, it's 100. What we're going to do is we're going to look at how base 10 can teach children as young as year 3 what short division actually means and give them a real understanding of it.
Well, that's it for now. So teachers, teaching assistants and parents and children too, please come and join me for the first of the sessions on Monday the 20th of April. We've got mental mathematics and we've got mathematical resources for using number rods. Hope to see as many of you as possible there, and I really look forward to it.
So, are you ready to be inspired? If so, I really look forward to seeing you for day 1, Monday the 20th of April, for the first video tutorial from the Ready Made Maths classroom. Take care, and I'll see you then.